This is the journey of a psychiatrist who grew up listening to the stories of Sir C.V. Raman. But little did he know that one day he shall be the recipient of Sir C.V. Raman Award. Like all great journeys, this journey too began with a quest, with a curiosity to understand the organ unfathomable. This video presentation is a humble effort to present to all a glimpse of this beautiful journey through the eyes of the scores of people who have seen him in various roles as a student, a teacher, a researcher, a mentor and a guide, an able administrator, and above all, the psychiatrist who has inspired, touched, and transformed the lives of so many and will continue to do so for generations to come. He is Professor B. N. Gangadhar, the psychiatrist, the alchemist.
I first met him in 1976, I think, when he joined as a first year MD student. And I also had the pleasure of being his co-guide for his thesis on ECT at that time. He came across as a very simple person, very curious and inquisitive about learning things, and had a very keen eye on doing research. His general attitude was one of deference to elders and very pleasant manners, and he went on to become one of the best known researchers in the field of ECT and later in conducting phenomenal work with yoga and mental health. In fact, at the end of his tenure, he came and met me and told me something very unique and which touched me most. He was sitting at the Delhi airport just prior to coming to Bangalore after attending a meeting with the government. He said he was running in his mind about his journey all these years. He felt that he should come and meet me to tell me the fact that he started the journey with ECT with me and completed his work, the latest work on yoga and ECT. He felt a sense of fulfillment in his mind. And it was extremely kind and nice of him to have come home to personally inform me about this. When he said that the first person I thought of when it came to my mind was you, sir. I was so overwhelmed and touched by this gesture from this great man and a wonderful human being. I wish him all the very best for his future endeavors. And there can only one thing one can learn from him, if not many things. That one thing is sense of humility and a sense of decency, a sense of transparency, and a sense of commitment. God bless him.
Dear Gangadhar, it gives me great pleasure to greet you today. It's been what, 40 years? More than 40 years since we know each other. I've known you as a very good student, a compassionate teacher, a very hardworking clinician, and of course now a very able administrator. I think you and Nimhans have had a great relationship. You're also one of the few people I know who has had great resilience. You've often had many issues that could have pulled down an ordinary person. I think you and your family are going to be very happy in the days to come. All the very best for the future.
Dear Gangadhar, hearty congratulations to you for successfully emerging out of successive responsibilities of life, some of which were tough and a few had their agonizing share also. A historical tradition the world over for worthy achievements has always been to be rewarded with ever greater and wider responsibilities, the latest one being the directorship of Nimans. And you completed this also with ease in an exemplary manner. The reward for the above is still a greater and wider responsibility on your shoulders. I join everyone else in wishing you a long, healthy life to successfully accomplish future responsibilities in a likewise fashion. All the best.
Hello, sir. Um, it's such a privilege to be able to say a few words to you on the day you are superannuating. Um, I remember joining as a new MT student in SMC unit. I don't know whether you remember, but you were my first consultant and taught me the basics of first rank symptoms and many other topics in psychiatry. And it was a wonderful time because there was Dr. SMC, Dr. Satyavati, Dr. Bhatti, and we would all, Elizabeth, and we would all sit together in the room, which is the current HOD's room, and have our topic discussions. And I have learned so much from you as a student. I still remember when we joined, some of my colleagues, students said, "This man is a consultant. Doesn't he look too young?" So you were young, enthusiastic, very fond of teaching, and I still remember very fondly visiting you at your home. We had gone for a unit get together in Tavarekere. I remember the beautiful rose garden that you had and the wonderful evening that we had with your family, with your parents. And I think I learned a lot from you in my first few months of getting into psychiatry. Subsequently, of course, I think one of the things that I have really admired about you, sir, is your level of resilience. I think if anybody wants to know or learn about resilience, it should be from Professor BNG. And maybe you should write a book on how you're able to handle things with such, maturity, with wisdom, with optimism. I've also seen you as a very fond father, and and the relationship that you and Kalyani share is something which I have always admired, and I really feel that it's an example for fathers everywhere about having a very honest, open, and lovely relationship with their children, especially daughters. Of course, I really admire your level of hard work, your perseverance, your intelligence, and the fact that you're able to sort of think of many solutions to situations and problems. As an HOD, it was a great privilege for me that I was a head of department when you were director, sir. And there were many things we were able to achieve, and we will continue to follow all the guidance that you have given us. I think that I really enjoyed my association with you. I will cherish it, and I really hope and wish that we continue this association with you. And you should keep coming and keep giving us advice on how to take things forward in the department and in the institute. I wish you good health, sir, and happy superannuated life. I know you'll continue to be really busy, but I think that one of the things that I would really like to see is a book about your life, about your work, and about what keeps you going. What has kept you going? You have reinvented yourself so many times, despite so many challenges, and it would be really a great privilege for us to have a glimpse of what makes you the BNG that we all know. So thank you very much, sir, for being part of the department, part of NIMANS, allowing us to be associated with you, and wish you a very, very, very happy retired life, productive and healthy retired life. Thank you, sir.
Dear Dr. Gangadhar, I still have very fresh memories of attending your introduction and basics to electroconvulsive therapy class that you took us in our initial days of joining NEMHANS back in the old ECT room inside Pavilion 4. And that is still very fresh in my mind as though it happened yesterday. And later on, as I joined as a faculty in the department, and it was very nice to work alongside you. You never made us feel as though we were juniors. You always, in your humble self, made us look as equals. And recently, as director, you've always been supportive to us in whatever ideas and projects that we had. So, in this new journey of yours, I just have to say that retirement is when you stop living at work and you start working at living. That's when retirement begins for you. So, wishing you all the best and happy days ahead.
You are such an amazing and loving person and a role model to many of us. I wanted to mention some of the instances in my life which show how dedicated and passionate you are with the job and also how you got things done from others. I remember the days when you sat with me in the ECT lab until 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. One day, after you did the analysis at about 11 p.m., you gave me some bullet points to improve the paper and asked me to show it next day morning by 5:30 a.m. Yes, sir, you are so caring. Every time I visited your house, you always offered me something to eat. You have taught me more than psychiatry on how to be humane, compassionate, and a good leader. You are a father figure to me. We wish you a very happy retirement life.
Hello, sir. I'm one of those privileged to be called as your student. From my MD days to till date, you have been my mentor in my MD thesis to research training fellowship from Welcome DBT and then now PhD. You have been the leading light to me. I have learned a lot with respect to research from you, from conceptualizing a study to writing it, selling it for a grant, attending an interview, preparing for it, making it a successful grant, and also starting and finishing a project flawlessly, finally ending up and writing it for a good publication. I have learned a lot from you at each of these steps, and I'm very, very grateful for you for that. I even got to attend your rounds as a JR. I have listened to your lectures on ECT, and you are a role model. You are a role model for a clinician, a psychiatrist. And I have always wondered how you can be available for the patient and all the time with your mobile. Even at late evenings, you would receive the call, and that is one of the feedbacks that I receive from the patients who say you will always receive call at whatever time it is. And then I look forward to be like you, even if we can be at least half as good as you as a person, as a clinician, as a researcher. I think I'm very happy for that. Thank you so much for all the support, all the teaching, and I wish you a very healthy, happy, and prosperous retired life, sir. Thank you so much.
Hello, sir. We were one of the fortunate batches to have attended his clinical rounds. He was a great, inspiring teacher. From his simple questions, apart from the well-known ECT and yoga research, he has made us curious about reactive psychosis, lunar cycles in psychiatry, and other things. Unlike now, earlier the junior residents used to send mails about seminars and journal clubs to all the consultants with the handout, and invariably Professor BNG would be the first person to wish everyone good luck. He also makes sure that he would come on the first day of final year clinical exams and wish everyone in person for a good experience. It is now time for us to wish you, sir, all the best. Do yoga.
Congratulations on successful completion of your term in NIMANS, sir. I wish you a happy and healthy retired life. We always cherish the moments we spent together in your unit. The unit get-togethers we just can't forget. You were a great teacher, eminent leader, and a dedicated doctor. We have learnt a lot from you, sir. Thank you, sir.
My association with Gangadhar is since 1993-94. My relationship with him is deep, both professionally and personally. I shall restrict my expressions to my professional relationship. Of course, as all of you know, and the world knows, it was since 1992 related to ECT. I think sometime in 1989, when he chaired a significant conference as secretary of ECT, the thought started in him. I got deeply involved with him since 1992-93 for the development of ECT as a concept rather than as a product since then. Now, to talk about my special and precious moments with Gangadhar. I deeply admired and appreciated his depth of involvement in engineering designs, suggestions, his passion for discussions related to physics and mathematics. We had very many visits to IISc Bangalore to discuss on mathematical analysis of EEG, fractal dimensions, ECG analysis, heart rate variability, etc. I also wish to acknowledge one other colleague of Nimhan's with whom we had a lot of interaction, that is Professor Pradhan. At one time, Dr. Gangadhar was crazy enough to register for PhD in the field of science. I mean, that bug hit me also. We both thought we would register. I mean, after interacting with very many people, they said that's a crazy idea at your age. So we just gave up. We thought we had come out with an innovative approach for designing a compact HRV module, heart rate variability module. We even applied for an Indian patent. Don't ask me the outcome. HRV, being primarily research oriented and not a diagnostic tool, has remained the same. Another place I need to acknowledge my association with Gangadhar is he encouraged me to make poster presentations in UK, RCP, USA, Brain Imaging Conference, San Francisco, that was related to fractal dimension, and Ukraine. These are my personal achievements. Thank you, Gangadhar. I take it as a personal achievement when Gangadhar's work was acknowledged in the field of engineering development in the field of psychiatry, ECT, when he got C.V. Raman Award. Of course, he deserves, and he has so many other awards and accolades in the course of his professional career. Thank you, Lord, for blessing me to be associated with Gangadhar.
It's a pleasure to share some of my reflections about my dear friend, whom I have known for several decades. Of course, all of you are very familiar with his outstanding, stellar professional career. But what is extremely noteworthy is his focus and consistency in terms of pursuing empirical research in his field of interest, which is electroconvulsive therapy. His work over the years has offered us very rich insights into this modality of treatment, and he played a key role in developing an ECT machine which was suited for the Indian setting. Personally, I'll forever cherish my association with him over the years, And I have been tremendously influenced by two of his qualities. One is this equanimity. Has anyone seen BNG ever get angry? He will face the most demanding of situations with that wonderful smile of his. And secondly, his extraordinary resilience in terms of handling issues both in his personal as well as professional life.
I have known Professor Gangadhar since 1986 when I joined the institute as a junior resident. He was well known for his work on ECT and he was one of the few faculty members who were active in research and published on a regular basis. As a clinician and a researcher, his most significant contribution is in the area of ECT. He is singularly responsible for the growth of ECT services in the institution and is a well-known authority in the area. What is remarkable about him is his ability to nurture youngsters and prepare them for leadership roles. Professor Benzi is a great mentor and does so without wearing the garb of mentor. It comes naturally to him. He is very simple, humble, down to earth, and leads a frugal life worthy of emulation. I am sure his superannuation will leave a big void in the department, but like great mentors, his legacy lives on through his mentees. I wish him all the best. Knowing him, he may be planning for an active second innings. Thank you, sir.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್. ನಾನು ಸುಮಾರು 18 ವರ್ಷದ ಹಿಂದೆ ನಿಮ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಸೇರಿದಾಗ ನನ್ನ ಸಿ ವಿ ಖಾಲಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಪಾತ್ರಕ್ಕಿಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಾತ್ರನೇ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಅಂತ ನನಗನ್ನಿಸ್ತದೆ. ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾಗಿ ಸೇರಿದಾಗ ನಾನು ಕಬೀರ್ ದಾಸರ ಒಂದು ದೋಹಾ ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ಮೇರಾ ಮುಜ್ಮೆ ಕುಚ್ ನಹಿ ಜೋ ಕುಚ್ ಹೇ ಸೋ ತೇರಾ. ಅಂದರೆ ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನದು ಅನ್ನೋದೇನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ನಿಮ್ಮದೇ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ಆ ಮಾತು ಇಂದಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ ಅಂತ ನನಗನ್ನಿಸ್ತದೆ. ನೀವು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಿದ ಬೆಳಕೊಂದು ದೂರ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಆತಂಕ ನಮಗೆ ಮೂಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಯಸ್ತೀನಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಜೊತೆ ನಿಮ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ನೀವು ಪ್ರತ್ಯಕ್ಷವಾಗಿಯೇ ಜೋಡಿಕೊಂಡಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಸೆ. ಪ್ರತ್ಯಕ್ಷವಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರೂ ಸಹ ಪರೋಕ್ಷವಾಗಿ ಆದ್ರೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಇದ್ದು ನಮಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳಕಳಿಯ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ವಿನಂತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ನಿಮಗೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕುಟುಂಬದವರಿಗೂ ಎಂದೆಂದಿಗೂ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಾಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಹಾರೈಕೆ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್.
Many thanks for guiding me all these years. I'm truly grateful and I wish you all the best and look forward to continuous learning from you. Thanks again, sir.
I thought I should mark the occasion of your departure from NIMHANS with a few personal words from me. And before I begin, I would like to extend the greetings of my wife, Anuji, and my children, Kadamari and Rishi, to you. I have known you for more than 25 years, and you have truly been an inspirational figure for me and have meant a lot to me across my life. In fact, I should say that you changed the trajectory of my psychiatric career by being my guide for a seminar which we did called Standards of ECT Practice in 1995. And ever since then, you've continued to be my guide, my guru, and also a father figure. I was reflecting certain qualities which you have, which are quite unique. And to me, three things stand out: genuineness, simplicity, and clarity of vision. And the clarity of vision is what actually has helped NIMHANS become world leaders in brain stimulation and yoga. I also felt that you had this unique gift of looking into the inner Brahman in all of us. And that's, I think, related to your own sense of inner peace and happiness, and a spiritual strength, in spite of grave losses and adversities which you've had throughout your life. And that itself is inspirational to all of us. Your one big chapter of your life is over, and I'm sure in the years to come, as a professor emeritus, you will continue to be amongst all of us and continue to inspire us. I'm hoping that you'll be in the best of the health in the years to come. My salutations to you.
Congratulations on such a brilliant and illustrious career, shaping and stimulating thousands of young brains who are now spread all over the world, improving the quality of life for people with mental illness. I was one of the lucky who had opportunity to spend more time with you during my days at NIMANS, as well as your trip to Melbourne. Even though the relationship started as a thesis guide, you had become more as a mentor, well-wisher, and a father figure to me. I still remember the morning when I met you to be my guide in the lush gardens of the pavilions of NIMANS. Since then, each and every meeting had been such an enriching experience to me, not only learning the psychiatry as well as important lessons in life. Of the numerous qualities I admire about you, the one standing out is you setting an example of how to be a true yogi, taking on each and every role of the life with utmost sincerity and dedication, be it the role as a son, as an husband, as a father to a lovely daughter, as a volunteer, as a doctor, as a teacher, as a researcher, as an administrator, and the list goes on. I pray to God that you are blessed with very good health, peace, and happiness in your next chapter of your life. Thank you, sir, for everything. Thank you, Professor Pratima Murthy, for giving me this opportunity.
BNG sir has been an inspiration for all of us. We have seen him as a teacher, as a person who has innovated a lot of things in terms of ECT, schizophrenia clinic, as well as of late in the yoga and Ayurveda center. And one of the most important thing which strikes us is that how he has actually been as a very good mentor. So it has been a fortune for us that so many people have been mentored by him, and any field like yoga or biological psychiatry or schizophrenia, people mentored by him have reached greater heights. And I think that is something which is a very, very inspirational thing for anybody to be a teacher and to be a mentor. And we have to follow his, even to some extent, we are able to imbibe certain qualities of him as to how much time he has given, how he has encouraged people. I think we all will be able to make this department and make our institute a better place. I wish Sir a very happy retired life, and we all thank him for contributing so much over his long service. And for Sir, it will never be retirement, and he will always be more active, and he will find more ways to contribute to the to psychiatry, not only psychiatry, to society in general. And I think yoga team is going to benefit more. Yoga and integrative medicine is going to benefit more. And from the geriatric team, we wish that we also would be able to get more inputs and more help from him, and more suggestions and more guidance from him in the time to come. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, and wish you all the best for a very happy and retired life.
Professor B.N. Gangadhar, or BNG as we call him, what can I say? He has been a friend, philosopher, and a guide through my 20-year journey at NIMHANS. From the first time I met him as a aspiring MD resident wanting to do his thesis with Dr. Gangadhar, till the day that he was HOD, MS, and director, he has never changed in his attitude and behavior towards all of us. That's the greatest compliment that I can pay him. Thank you very much, sir, and all the best.
It is very difficult to say only a few words about Professor Gangadhar because he has been such a towering personality. His work and contributions in not only in academic and scientific field but also in administrative field have been enormous. Well, Dr. Gangadhar and myself, we joined the institute together. Not really joined. He joined, I think, a couple of months before me, and he's leaving a couple of months before me. But we were selected together, and after that, we have been together. We have, got our promotions together. We have had our rejections together. We have had our, various other achievements, one after the other. Except when he became director, he became alone as a director, and then it is good to work with him, and I know it has been a real joy, a pleasure. He's a thorough gentleman, and really he has numerous good qualities. In this short time, I will not be able to enumerate all of that. So, boss, BNG boss, take care, have good health, and I'm quite sure we will keep meeting at some place or the other.
When I say these words, I'm echoing the voices of scores of students, peers, and colleagues who have known you. I'm just going to use a few adjectives from among the superlative adjectives they've used for you in describing you. We all hold you in great regard for the regard that you show each and every one of us, for the respect that you show us. We hold you dear for your research passions and the way you have been a role model to scores of psychiatrists across generations. We admire your sincerity, your simplicity, your scientific temper, as well as your even temper, even in the face of adversities. We admire your humaneness, your mentorship as a teacher, a human being, as well as a friend. Greatness, they say, is the ability to apply your power to do things that need to be done. And you have demonstrated that in many, many ways. I would like to wish you all the very best, good health, peace, tranquility, and many, many more years of service to the discipline, of teaching, and contribution to research in the years to come. Take care, sir.
Always remember BNJ as someone who adopted yoga as a way of life, a man who practiced philosophy of Nishkama Karma to the core.
Dear BNG, greetings from the Department of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry. And from me, for 40 years of professional camaraderie and friendship. There are some things that I would like to say about BNG that are remarkable. He's the only director in the history of this institute to have held every possible position that is possible here. President, faculty, head of department, medical superintendent, dean, and the director. There have been other people who've held 2 or 3 of these various avatars, but BNG is the only person who has really had all these positions to his credit. The second thing I want to say is the grace and dignity with which you have handled the challenges in your life have been truly inspirational to many of us in the way that we deal with the trials and tribulations of life, and our salutes to you. And finally, the poise and quiet with which you carried out your responsibility at the helm of affairs as the director of this institute. Even when there were vexations, you have conducted yourself with such equanimity and such warmth and concern that It created an atmosphere during your entire tenure of a calm that is something that characterizes the kind of campus and institute that you're leading. On behalf of all of us who know you for so many years, on behalf of the entire community and fraternity of psychiatrists, the many colleagues who have worked with you, the many students that you have trained, and the many people who love you very dearly, we wish you the very best of health in the major responsibilities that you're going to be taking up further in your career. Take care, BNG, and all our love.
Dear BNG, this is such a proud moment, such a fine moment for us when you receive the Eminent Psychiatrist Award of the Indian Psychiatric Society, Karnataka State Chapter. I know you right from the time I entered NIMHANS. You were a hero. We knew you as a victim of the notorious emergency and somebody who had gone underground, which made you much more of a hero. You were my first guiding light for an international publication in my first year itself. You have been the epitome of loyalty, hard work, empathy, and most importantly, devotion. Devotion to the field of mental health, devotion to your family, devotion to the profession, and devotion to the country. You are a hard-nosed patriot, and we've always been very proud of you for that reason too. Now, as you get this new feather in your cap, I know that you have just relinquished a very important post of Director of NIMHANS and a very non-controversial director. Not a mean achievement, Gangadhar. We are so happy that you're going to be an emeritus scientist of the country. I know you will continue to gather more laurels, and you carry your laurels with such grace and simplicity. It is an example for younger people in the profession. Once again, congratulations on this wonderful achievement, and may you grow from strength to strength. All the best.
I have known Dr. Gangadhar for a very long time, perhaps over 40 years, almost from the time that he joined the Department of Psychiatry to do his postgraduate training in psychiatry, maybe during the late 1970s. After completing MD, he joined the department, and we have been colleagues ever since, until I retired several years ago. Gangadhar has been an excellent clinician, a teacher par excellence, a researcher, a great mentor who has mentored large number of students into teaching and clinical work as well as research. He is also risen to become not only the head of the department, but the head of the institution, the director, a position any person in the Department of Psychiatry aspires to become. All his achievements in these various fields as a clinician, teacher, researcher, etc. are very well known to everybody. That is not what I want to highlight. I want to say another aspect of Gangadhar which many people may not know. We have been neighbors living inside the Dairy Circle campus together for a long time. And I have seen him outside the hospital, outside his teaching room, outside his clinic. He has been a great carer. He had to take care of his wife, who unfortunately, following a road traffic accident, developed serious and chronic disability. He has admirably taken care of her, and at a time when he was also simultaneously taking care of his elderly parents. I have seen all these with my own eyes because we were neighbors living very close to each other. For many years, he was also both father and mother to their daughter Kalyani. This is an admirable quality that you rarely see in many professions. He never used to talk about it. He used to be calm and quiet and used to come and do his full work in the hospital after all these fairly difficult caring responsibility. So this is something that people have to learn. He has never talked about it. Unless you talk to him, he will not talk about it. But I have seen with my own eyes. Now, he is not just retiring from the position of director or professor of psychiatry from NIMHANS. He has already been designated by the government of India to become the president of the registration and ethics board of the National Medical Council. I have great pleasure to wish him well and all success in the next 3 years or 5 years of his term. I am certain that he will bring great value to his job, and we will continue to see him in this higher position. So Gangadhar, as you are leaving the Department of Psychiatry, wish you all the very best for your future. Thank you very much.
Dear BNG sir, I have known you since the time I joined DPM at NIMHANS in 1980. You have been a colleague, my head of the department, director, a sounding board whenever I plan to do some research. Most importantly, you have been a good friend to me and Bharat. What I admire in you is your utter simplicity, commitment to whatever you undertake, and equanimity even in times of crisis. I wish you all the very best and happiness in your next phase of life and work. Bharat joins me in this.
BNG. I first met Dr. BNG in 1983 when I joined NIMHANS as a junior resident. I happened to be posted in his unit. I always admired him for his simplicity, honesty, and straightforwardness all through my association with him. We shared a lot of common things between us with respect to social pursuits, and that brought both of us together. What really struck me about him is his ability to deal with life problems with tremendous sense of ease, and therefore I would believe that he is the role model for most people who face adversities. I think that he is one of the brilliant scientists of this country, a thorough professional and a great gentleman. I wish him peace, happiness, and harmony in his life ahead. Thank you.
It is my pleasure and privilege to share a few words about Professor BNG. His pioneering work in the areas of schizophrenia, ECT, yoga, etc. have been unparalleled at the global level for the past 3 decades. One thing that strikes anyone who interacts with Professor BNG is his humility and down-to-earth nature. I have personally experienced the same right from the time I have joined my MD training at NIMHANS in the year 1998. And I am amazed to see the same qualities in him after having attained the highest level of his professional career as a director of NIMHANS and also member of the National Medical Council of India, and also having won several awards, including the most recent Padma Shri. And his support for the child psychiatric team has been very valuable, and we are able to initiate and complete several activities with his valuable support. I wish him all the very best and a happy, healthy life in the years ahead. Thank you.
Dear sir, your career is an inspiration for any psychiatrist. You have with single-minded devotion pursued your scientific and career goals and have achieved much, yet remain humble throughout, even after becoming the director of NIMHANS and after receiving the Padma Shri Award. Best wishes for an equally productive second innings in your professional life post your retirement from NIMHANS.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಗುರುಗಳಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ BNG ಅವರು ನಿವೃತ್ತ ಹೊಂದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಬೀಳ್ಕೊಡುಗೆ ಸಮಾರಂಭ, ಫೇರ್ವೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ಒಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟಿನ ಒಂದು ಆಧಾರ ಸ್ತಂಭ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ನಾನು ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ 22 ವರ್ಷ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆದರೆ ಕಳೆದ 5 ವರ್ಷದ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋ ನನಗೆ ಭಾಗ್ಯ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಈ ಕಳೆದ 5 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹಲವಾರು ಬಾರಿ ಅವರ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೆ. ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ರಾತ್ರಿ 10 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದುಂಟು. ಅವರು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಬರಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಂದಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕರೆದು ಕೂರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ರಾತ್ರಿ 12 ಗಂಟೆ ತನಕ ನಾನು ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಜಗಳವನ್ನು ಆಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆ ಜಗಳದ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಎದ್ದುಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿ ಟೀ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ಟೀ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ಇಬ್ಬರು ಟೀ ಕುಡಿದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕಣಯ್ಯ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಹೋಗು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹುರಿದುಂಬಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ಇಷ್ಟು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ BN ಗಂಗಾಧರ್ ಅವರು ಇವತ್ತು ನಿವೃತ್ತಿ ಹೊಂದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ತುಂಬ ದುಃಖ ಸಂಗತಿ. ಅದೊಂದೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಪರ್ಸ್ನಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್. ಅದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಆ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಸಾಧಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಅದಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಕೂಡ ತಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಆದರೆ ಅವರ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಟಾಪ್ ನಾಚ್. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾರೂ ಏನೂ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅವರು ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ನ ಮುಂದೆ ತೊಗೊಂಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಒಂದು ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿ ಎನ್ ಗಂಗಾಧರ್ ಸಾಹೇಬರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಕೊಡುಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಅಪಾರವಾದದ್ದು. ಇತ್ತೀಚಿನ ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಬಿ ಎನ್ ಗಂಗಾಧರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡೋ ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಕ್ತು. ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸೈಕ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಅವರು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಬಿ ಎನ್ ಗಂಗಾಧರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಎಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಸೈಕ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಕ್ತು. ನಮ್ಮ ಗುರುಗಳಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಹೇಳು. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನವೀನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಗೀತಾ ದೇಸಾಯಿ ಕೂಡ ಇದ್ದರು. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಗುರುಗಳು ಬಿ ಎನ್ ಗಂಗಾಧರ್ ಅವರು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ DVG ಅವರು ಹೇಳೋ ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ನೆನಪಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಒಂದು ಕಗ್ಗ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅದು ಕಗ್ಗನೇ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಹುಲ್ಲಾಗು ಬೆಟ್ಟದಡಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆಯಾಗು, ಕಲ್ಲಾಗು ಕಷ್ಟಗಳ ಮಳೆ ವಿಧಿ ಸುರಿಯೇ, ಬೆಲ್ಲ ಸಕ್ಕರೆಯಾಗು ದೀನ ದುರ್ಬಲರಿಗೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೊಳೊಂದಾಗು ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ ಅಂತ. ನಮ್ಮ ಬಿ ಎನ್ ಗಂಗಾಧರ್ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರವರು ಅವರ ಕೊಡುಗೆ ಅಪಾರ. ನಾನು ಬರೀ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಕ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಅವರ ಕ್ಲಿನಿಕಲ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬ ಅಪಾರವಾಗಿದೆ. ಹಲವಾರು ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಈಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಹುಡುಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಅವರ ನಿವೃತ್ತ ಜೀವನ ಇನ್ನೂ ಫಲಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ಆರೋಗ್ಯವಾಗಿರಲಿ ಅಂತ ದೇವರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಶುಭಾಶಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡು. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
Respected sirs, it has been an immense pleasure to have known you since my student years from 20 years ago, and you are an inspiration and someone I use both from a personal perspective and a professional perspective. Your approach, your attitude to both work and your life has been something that I've drawn immense strength from. I thank you very, very much for having offered me all your immense support, and I am immensely going to be grateful for the same. A small anecdote being the fact that you dropped into our house, into our residence, just to meet my wife and my little daughter soon after I joined as faculty in the department. And that was something that was a very wonderful and touching moment, and I always will cherish the same. You, as the director of NIMHANS, have taken to the department and our institute to exceptional heights. And for that, again, I shall be always grateful. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors and the new roles and responsibilities that you are soon going to be assuming. And I'm sure the immense success that you have achieved in your time at the department and at our institute would be something that would provide great source of benefit to the organizations that you would be providing your services to in the future. So once again, thank you very, very much. And I look forward to meeting you on an ongoing basis in the future. Thank you once again.
My association with B.N. Gangadhar sir in the last 2 years was due to NIMHANS Digital Academy. Sir was always encouraging and approachable for anything we needed. Thank you, sir, for all your contributions to NDA and helping us bring it up to this level. We, the employees of NIMHANS Digital Academy, will be ever grateful to you and we will miss you. On a personal ground, I used to always get amazed by the ideas that Sir used to come up with in the Saturday co-committee meetings and the suggestions that he would give us. Wishing you all the best, and may God give you good health and a beautiful future. Thank you, sir.
BNG ಸರ್, ನಾನು ಕಂಡ ಭಾರತದ ಮಹಾನ್ ಮನೋವೈದ್ಯರು. ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ, ಸೇವಾ ಮನೋಭಾವ, ವಿನಮ್ರತೆ, ಜ್ಞಾನಾರ್ಜನೆ, ಪರಿಸರ ಪ್ರೇಮ ಇವು ಗುಣಗಳನ್ನು ಅವರನ್ನು ನೋಡಿಯೇ ಕಲಿಯಬಹುದು. ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ಭಾರತೀಯ ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಮಾನಸಿಕ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ದೀಪವನ್ನು ಬೆಳಗಿಸಲು ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು. ನಮಸ್ತೆ.
Hello sir. Thank you for being an inspiration to many of us, directly or indirectly. Your ECT manual was one of the reasons which pulled me to psychiatry. Blessed are we who are your students. May you lead a joyful and fruitful post-retirement life. Thank you.
Dear sir, you have been an epitome of NIMHANS. Your life has been a rendition of the logo of NIMHANS and the anthem behind it. You are like that heavenly sailing moon, shedding the splendid knowledge. You have been that unperturbed swan, gliding smoothly over the troubled waters of life. Interacting with you had always given me the feeling of that lotus blossoming with passion and has taken me one step more towards the realization. Thank you for what you are and what you will always be. And I will remain selfish in wishing you to be around us even after this retirement, inspiring all the time as you have always been.
Namaste sir. I want to wish you a happy superannuation, and I want to thank you for all the years wherein you have guided youngsters like us. You have been our teacher, our mentor, our guide, and an inspiration for people like us to go that extra mile and become better version of ourselves. Sir, I still remember the days when I came to you for guidance, and it was your words that are still ringing in my ears when you said, please do take that MD Psychiatry seat around 7 years ago. I did not give up on my dreams thanks to your inspiration. I did my MD Psychiatry, I got you as my guide, and it is indeed a privilege and a blessing that I can call you my teacher, my director, my mentor, my inspiration. Wish you a happy superannuated life, sir, and then I request you to continue to teach and also to continue to inspire all of us even more. All the best, sir. Thank you.
Sir, there are two things that I have learned from you in the last 7 years. One is being simple, the other one is Nishkama Karma. On the occasion of your retirement, I wish you all the very best, sir. May God give you good health. Thank you.
Even prior to joining post-graduation, whoever I mentioned that I wish to join NIMHANS would invariably tell me that they knew BNG sir. Such was his fame. After coming to NIMHANS, I have no words to tell how influenced I've been by his amazing persona. The confidence in his voice has made many of us sail through our residency years and believe in psychiatry. Thank you so much, sir.
Both of us had the privilege of working with Dr. BNG on our thesis.
We were also very fortunate to be amongst Sir's last thesis students, and through this entire journey, Sir has been a constant source of inspiration to the two of us.
His dedication and work ethics have inspired many young psychiatrists like us, and I'm sure they will continue to be inspired in the future as well.
We'd like to thank Sir for inspiring us with his many brilliant ideas, and at the same time, despite donning the director's hat, Sir was very approachable and very involved with both our theses.
This experience of working with him has been etched in our memories forever, and we will continue to draw inspiration from it.
We'd like to thank Sir and wish him the very best for his future endeavors.
Thank you, sir, for being our guiding light, and we wish you the best.
Thank you.
ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ಗಂಗಾಧರ್ ಸರ್ ಬಹಳ ಸರಳ ಜೀವಿಗಳು, ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಉಚ್ಚಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಸರ್. ಮತ್ತು ನಾವು ನೀವು ಹೆಚ್ಚುಡಿಯೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. 15-20 ವರ್ಷದ ತನಕ ಹತ್ತಿರದ ಸಂಪರ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಸರ್. ಈ ನಿವೃತ್ತಿ ಜೀವನ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ, ನೆಮ್ಮದಿ ಮತ್ತು ಮನೆಯವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ದೇವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್. ಆಲ್ ದ ವೆರಿ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್.
Dr. Gangadhar sir, as is fondly known as BNG, ನಮಗೆ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ 20 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಅವ್ರ ಪರಿಚಯ ಇದೆ. ಡಿ ಅಡಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರು. ಅವ್ರ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ನಾನು 3-4 ವರ್ಷ ಡಿ ಅಡಿಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅವರಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಹಜವಾದ ತುಂಬ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆದ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿನ ನೋಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ 4-5 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಅವ್ರು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟೇರಿಯೇಟ್ನಲ್ಲೂ ಅವ್ರ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೋಪ ಬಂದು ನಾನು ನೋಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರು ಏನೇ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನು ಕರೆದು ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಹೊರತು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಕೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರಿಂದ ಕಲಿಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ವಿಷಯಗಳು ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆ. ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾಗ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಸರ್ಗೆ ದೇವರು ಆಯುಷ್ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತಿದ್ವಿ.
Words about BNG sir. Sir is very down to earth and soft spoken person. I wish him all the very best for his retirement life and I will pray with God to give him good health and
ಹಲೋ ಸರ್, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ನೀಲವೇಣಿ ಅಂತ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ BN ಗಂಗಾಧರ್ ಅವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಸರಳತೆ, ಸಜ್ಜನಿಕೆ. ಅವರು ತುಂಬ ಫೇಮಸ್. ಮತ್ತು ಕನ್ನಡ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವರ್ಷ ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದ ತುಂಬ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದಿನ ನಿವೃತ್ತಿ ಜೀವನ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರಲಿ. ದೇವರು ಆರೋಗ್ಯ, ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ, ಅಂತಸ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಕಾಪಾಡಲಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊತೀವಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Professor BN Gangadhar sir is the doyen of psychiatry and an inspiration to many budding psychiatrists across the country with his exemplary achievements. We wish him all the very best to continue to achieve and inspire us with his simplicity, knowledge and humility.
Dr. Bengaluru Gangadhar, also called our beloved BNG sir, has always been a great inspiration. Passing out from my alma mater, Bangalore Medical College, I've always considered him as a role model. His contribution in the area of PCT in NIMHANS has been fascinating. Even after introduction of many medicine, it still works as a miracle in acute treatment of patient. He has created a wonderful path and record for young students like me to travel and achieve. Thank you, sir. We will miss you.
Hello, sir. Thank you for being a big motivation for us all. You have been an example of hard work and dedication. I personally admire your contributions towards the field of non-invasive brain stimulation in India. So, wishing you all health and happiness, sir.
Although I did not get the opportunity to work with you, but let me tell you, I have indirectly learned a lot from you and I have been inspired so much because of all the things that I got to know from my seniors about you. Although I feel you have been blessed with many virtues, but the one thing that stands out for me is the fact that you stay connected to your roots despite being at such great heights, which I think speaks volumes about you. Thank you so much for inspiring hundreds of budding psychiatrists like me, and I wish you all the very best for your future. Thank you.